to bring myself to the stage. I am going to bring this off and bring Sparkle Sanctuary in. Hello. Oh, she's funny. How are you, Rebecca? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, Tammy. How are you? Hey, Mutts and the Piggy Girls. Hello, Tammy. How are you? Hello. How are you? Hey, Mutts and the Piggy Girls. How are you? Are you there, Rebecca?
Okay.
There she is. How are you doing today, Rebecca? I wonder if she is having a... Oh, she's going to leave and come back. Let's make sure we can hear her voice. I will try and keep you entertained as we do this. This is our first time going live together. So how has everyone's day been thus far? Mutt says, I'm tired but good. Was a long, fun weekend, so we'll try not to pass out, LOL. Well, if you need to pass out and have a nap, that's called self-care. And that is called self-compassion. And you're allowed to do that. Tammy says she's okay. That's good. I pulled weeds. Oh, I love pulling weeds. I do. I don't smoke weed, but I love pulling weeds. So let's see if we can have her come back. I did mine. Can we hear you? I did mine. We're working on it. Oh, no worries. I can keep them entertained. Linda, how are you? So this is a pop-up. I will be going live tomorrow night. I got some mail that I haven't opened up. One, I know what it is. The other one, I have not a clue. So the painting that both Rebecca Sparkle Sanctuary and I, Spunky, hello. What we are working on is this beautiful piece of art that's called Love in Every Hue by Carrie Illustrations. This is from Muni Made. It is a licensed canvas. And I love it because it's got a dandelion. It's got a little dandelion and a little snail. So that. Oh,
I hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yay. Hello, everybody.
Yay. Okay, I'm going to turn my fan off so I make sure I can hear you. So everybody, this is Rebecca of Sparkle Sanctuary.
Hello.
I got to meet her at these Crafters Paradise, the first retreat in Texas that she put on. And her and I just kind of bonded. I think that's a nice way of saying it. We bonded. So how are you doing, Rebecca?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Still just kind of trying to, I'm not sure why I'm so technically challenged right now. It's frustrating, but I'm figuring it out. The volume seems to be really low, and I'm hoping that you could not hear the crazy cicadas that we've got going on here.
I think you're fine.
Okay.
You may have the
Okay.
cicadas. I've got the frog in my throat. And it's okay to have challenges. I think we all have our challenges. And even when we have the best laid plan, we still have challenges.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay, so what you're working at the very bottom corner. I'm working in the upper middle upside down.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure I kind of wanted to start in the middle, but then I was like, I'm going to be left with all the color blocking.
Yes.
So I kitted up yesterday after I pulled my weeds and then rearranged my garden. Dipper's not happy about me doing that. But then I actually sectioned them. So I have one section for each day in this month.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can do this.
Wow. One section for each day in the month. Okay.
Well, I figured it's a lot of color blocking. So, I should be able to do this. You guys are teaching me that I can color block.
No, you
Just
absolutely can. You absolutely can. Mine is sectioned off to do a square this size. Basically, I have 4 squares like this every week. So as long as I get 4 squares like this completed in a week, I'm good.
That's about what I have.
Okay.
Because that right there, that's my corner, and that's my top. Okay. So it's about the same size.
Yeah, I have 16. I have 16 sections.
Yeah. I don't know if I did it right, but I went 53 times 65 or times 60 divided by 4 because we have 4 weeks.
Right. And that's, it's a good point. I mean, we're on the 2nd, we're only going to the 23rd, so that's only 21 days. So
yes. And there's a reason why we're going to the 23rd is because her daughter it's her birthday. So we want to make sure on the 30th that Rebecca can have time with her family.
Yeah, it's actually my twins. They're turning 17.
Oh my gosh. I cannot imagine. So they've all gone back to school.
Everything.
Right?
They're what?
They've all gone back to school.
Yes. So my twins are juniors in high school, and then I do have a daughter that's in college and a son that's in college. And
she's not that old. She's younger than I am.
Works full time.
So as we're working on this canvas, I saw this canvas and I was like, I had to have it because dandelions have come up throughout the summer for me. And when I was talking with Rebecca, she was like, you know what? I'm going to do this one with you. And we're going to do it for the CPTSD. We'll do it specifically for September. Now, before we get into questions, because we want to hear your questions, we want to know what you're comfortable with sharing. I am not professionally trained in the medical field. I am a peer support worker trained, and I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD. So we're not going to be giving advice, medical advice. It is more from our own experience.
Yes. And I do have a degree in psychology, but I'm not a practiced and licensing, psychiatrist, so I can't do anything either. I can't see any of the chat from my phone, so I finally opened up my computer just so I could see the chat, and I'm seeing all the hellos. So thank you everybody for welcoming me in. Thank you so much. Hello. Hello.
Yes, they're all welcoming you in. Diamonds around the world. Tennis. Hello, hello.
Everybody's being so nice, so thank you.
She likes to bling stuff up, so if you want to learn how or see things that are blinged up, she is awesome.
Send them my way.
Just a little plug.
I'm not been posting consistently on my channel. I have so many ideas and so little time.
Well, it's so little time, and you need to have the right energy. You need to not have challenges, whether that's mental challenges, physical challenges.
Yes.
Computer challenges.
That does seem to be my thing. I find I like record a video and either there's no sound or something happens. It can be very discouraging, but I do enjoy it, and I do try to post periodically, but got lots of ideas and hoping I can get that really going.
Well, and I can relate to that because before I was diagnosed, I thought I had everything sorted out. I had overcome my challenges. And then I discovered that things occur, they pop up, and my world kind of got knocked on its butt. So I am relearning what my limitations are and what I used to be able to do, I can't do. And it's making me take a look at, is it something I really want to do? Because I used to do like 9-10 hour shifts a day, work, go at home, work on the weekends, and just go, and then volunteer and be a mom, be a wife. And I can't do all that anymore. And I've noticed that other people that I talk to have similar experiences. So as we get into this, put a emoji in the chat if you know what complex PTSD is. Have you heard about it? It's also referred to as CPTSD. I'm just curious.
This color that I'm working with is stunning.
Yeah.
It's got mica powder on it.
Ooh.
And the gem itself is like a turquoise color, right? But the mica powder on it is blue. Very pretty.
Oh, that is very pretty.
Was not what I was expecting. Oh, catching onto my cord there.
No, I would think it'd be something similar.
Yeah, no, this is very pretty.
We have a CPTSD. So when you hear CPTSD or complex PTSD, how much do you know about it? Do you or someone you know has it or has been diagnosed with it? Tammy, I know what PTSD is, not complex PTSD. Tammy says nothing. Okay, no, and that's fine. This isn't judgment. There is no judgment here.
That's actually why we're doing this, because it's not something that's very well known, but it impacts a lot of people, and it's important to understand. So we want to share information just because we both have been diagnosed with it, actually.
And I think, Rebecca, when I first introduced myself to you, that was one of the first things I said to you about me. Because sometimes people will think I'm acting a certain way, and that's not my intention. And the way I act, I'm finding, especially now, is it's changing because I'm learning new techniques and tips. Linda says, here to learn. Spunky says, I know quite a bit about PTSD and CPTSD. Ooh, good. Here to learn and share. That is awesome. That is awesome. So we thought we would do this event, if you want to call it an event. I like to think of it as an awareness, because it is to have fun. It is to learn, be able to express, and to increase awareness. There are more people out there who have CPTSD than I realized.
Yes.
So, Rebecca, would you like to give what you have learned, or how would you like to share?
I don't know. Let's just wing it. So let's just start off by talking about for what PTSD is. So PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. It's something that people will develop if they go, say, off to war, when they encounter trauma, and they end up with trauma, like this leftover residual trauma that they take home with them, and it lasts basically for the rest of their life, right?
Right.
What do you want to add to that?
So I know when I think of PTSD, what I knew of it was first responders, veterans, fire, war-torn countries, like a bad car accident. And
a moment, yes, something
was,
that's traumatic that happens in an event.
Yes, in a singular event.
Yes.
And I know when I was going through my challenges, and I'm like, I know something's wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. And everything I'm trying to do is not working, because at that point, I was trying to find a solution. And I came to learn about it when my therapist at the time said, you have PTSD. You have complex PTSD. And I looked at them and I went, no, I don't. I am not a veteran. I've never been to war. I have not lived in a disastrous area. I have not had a singular event happen to me. I know people had worse childhoods than I have. They've had it worse than I've had. And the therapist at the time was saying, you don't have to be one of them to have PTSD. And true, you do not have a singular event. You have numerous events. And they kind of build upon each other. Now, How does a person develop PTSD or trauma? I mean, I don't think we wake up one morning going, I think I want to have PTSD.
Right?
Yeah. No. And not everybody will develop PTSD, is my understanding. It is when something happens to you, and as Rebecca said, it is residue. It stays with you and it impacts your daily life. So something can happen and I'm okay with overcoming it. There have been other things where I have not been able to overcome it. And that can be for a various number of reasons.
Well, and I think this is kind of when the term trigger comes into play, because a lot of people will say, oh, I know what triggers are. I have triggers, blah, blah, blah. When they're talking about things that upset them in an upsetting way, but it's not something that completely dysregulates their nervous system, which is what actual triggers do.
Correct.
And so that's a big, like, when you're talking about either CPTSD or PTSD, I said it lives with you forever. In a way it does, only because those triggers are always kind of there. You learn to manage them. You learn to work through them and with them, but they're always just kind of there under the surface.
Yeah. And that's what I'm finding. And I know when I first started, it was like, just tell me what I need to do to fix this so I can move on. And having that thought has taken me a very long time to realize it's not that simple.
It's really not.
I think you make a really good another good point in terms of the word trigger. You may notice that someone may be startled or someone yells at someone and somebody will go, oh, I'm traumatized now. Or I have PTSD now. And that's not necessarily how that occurs.
Yeah.
I know for myself when I sense something, and I'm using the word sense because it could be I can hear something, I can smell something, I could see something, a touch, a taste. It brings back memories.
Comments, especially, or they can do that. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I say
be a song.
Absolutely. Like,
a baked
and
good,
I mean,
like literally anything.
Yep.
So,
it can be
and that's
anything.
Really fast. That's part of the point of the PTSD and CPTSD. It's flashbacks, nightmares, intrusive thoughts that you can't control, and trying to escape situations that remind you of it, are all included as part of that for both of them.
Yeah. Where you absolutely avoid anything that could possibly remind you. And it could be a memory that you have blocked or hidden away. Yes, Spunky. A reaction, perhaps. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, they had a reaction. Anything that can bring back a memory that causes issues. Yeah.
And it's very interesting if you actually have blocked some of that out,
And
and you avoid things that you don't even know why you're avoiding them.
oh gosh, yes. Yep.
So, okay, so I'm going to give, and this is not, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that this is PTSD, okay? But I'm just going to give a quick example of something where we're like what we're talking about. So when I was really little, my family we did not have money. And there was a situation one time when our house, we were in a heat wave and the house was hot and the AC wasn't working. And so my mom took my sister and I to go to shops so that we could be somewhere in air conditioning because it was just too hot to be at home. And she only had enough money on her to get us Skittles. And I was hungry and I was little. I mean, we moved away from there when I was really little. So, um, I ate Skittles and ate Skittles and ate Skittles because I was hungry. And I was in high school and I remember my friends and I getting like candy and stuff out of the vending machine. And my friends would always get Skittles and I would never get them. I'd never get
yep.
them. And I happened to go home one day and I was talking to my mom and I was like, I think it's funny all my friends love Skittles and I can't stand Skittles and I don't know why. And she was like, I know why you don't like Skittles and why you avoid them. So
It might have.
again, that's not a PTSD event, but that's the concept. That's, like you experience something that, because I ended up very sick. I ended up very sick on those Skittles.
Oh yes.
And so it it was, I did not ever want to eat a Skittle again. And once I learned that information from my mom, interestingly enough, I was kind of able to overcome that. And I gave Skittles another chance. And actually now quite like them. So I think it's very funny. But anyway, that's the concept. Like you don't know why you're avoiding something
Yeah.
that you've been exposed to, even when you don't remember.
Looks like I'm having internet issues.
We're having internet issues. Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
I love technology.
We'll figure it out. Hopefully everybody doesn't mind.
Oh my goodness, that is. Okay, well, we're going
Yes, Spunky, anything can bring back a memory that causes issues.
yeah. So now, one of the things I find interesting is over in the international centers of diseases, disorders, the ICD, they actually recognize CPTSD as its own classification.
And it really should be.
The DSM, yeah, the DSM has not as of yet. Now, part of doing the awareness is to try and get more people informed, and perhaps we can eventually get them to consider its own classification and include it. Because right now, you need to have comorbid diagnosis in order to get certain treatments because it's not within one.
Yep.
Tammy says, I had a great therapist a couple of years ago who helped me with different triggers, took his time on it, teaching me how to handle them and get through them. That is awesome. I would call that a glimmer. That is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So complex PTSD.
Thank you. Wait, really fast. Thank you for sharing. It was very strong of you. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rhonda.
Thank you for using your voice.
Yes.
Denotes complex means it's not just a singular event that is causing you residue trauma.
Yes.
I know for me, there is childhood trauma in there. And I know and it's funny because I never noticed it, but when I was in high school, my friend at the time, who is no longer my friend, used to question me when I talked, because I would go, without realizing it, I would go and swish between I and we, or they. And I wouldn't be talking about somebody else. I would be talking about my littles. Like, they're not happy. And she couldn't understand what I was doing. And I never realized it. One of the things I know for me is remembering that what happened to me was done to me. And I was not knowledgeable as I am now as the time when it occurred. And when you get those, or when I get those, let me just refer to as me, when I get my triggers, I may logically know that I am an adult. I am not back there. It's not happening. It literally transports me back to that time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't get away from it. And so, those for me are the triggers.
I think that's pretty normal though. When you get triggered, I think that that's the point of the trigger, is it kind of takes you back to that space.
Yes. And you don't realize
you feel
that
like you're there again.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So I found an interesting article, and it does say the big difference. There's like one of the bigger differences with complex PTSD and PTSD, beyond the fact that it's prolonged or complex is prolonged or repeated exposure to trauma. There's also different symptoms associated with it. So CPST also has, according to this article, PTSD has symptoms of intrusion, avoidance, and hyperarousal. But CPTSD also, it has dissociation, difficulties with emotional regulation, a negative self-concept, and then problems with interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I would say that some of those ones that they had under CPTSD could also apply to PTSD, depending on the reason why they have PTSD.
Yes.
So I get what this article is saying, but I just, based on my knowledge, and again, this is not a you know, I do work in psychology as a profession. I help teach kids how to self-regulate, and these are kids that have been through trauma, so I have a lot of experience with it, but I am not this is, you know, I don't want to profess that I know more than any of these articles do. But that's my thought on it.
Yeah. There's a couple of them there that I find are definitely, I experience them, and that is the emotion regulation.
Yes.
Oh, I do not like emotions, which is very odd because people look at me and they're like, yeah, you do. I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, name them. Mad, sad, glad. I really don't like mad. I don't like anger. And I have a hard time when people ask me to articulate. I have a really hard time finding the words to explain it just right, because I'm already thinking about who am I talking to? What's the situation? What are they looking for? What will they understand? How will I answer it if they don't agree with me or they don't have an understanding of it? I'm already having those conversations in my head.
Yep.
Before I even know I need to go talk to them.
Yeah, I imagine that is a symptom of PTSD, but I also think it's a symptom of neurodivergency, like autism or ADHD, which I want to point out, because I mentioned this to you on the side when we were discussing this. I'm not sure very many people are aware that, you know, I'm sure all of you know what a Venn diagram is, but basically you've got a circle that is CPTSD, and then you have another circle that is autism, and then you have another circle that is ADHD, and they all actually interlap in the middle.
Yeah.
And so there are going to be things like for autism or ADHD, some people will play scenarios out in their brain before they ever even have conversations, and that also happens for CPTSD.
Yeah. I know I've always been referred to as I'm too sensitive. I'm too emotional. Even if something were to happen to somebody beside me, I would react and cry. When I get angry, I cry.
Same.
And I would get teased about it, which is not cool. So you learn to hide.
Yep.
One of the other things that I have found personally is individuals that I have conversations with, and they let me know that they too have been diagnosed with CPTSD, is there is a lot of questioning in ourselves, and we have many masks. And for me, you know, people are like, oh, you got a split personality. I'm like, no, I don't. I know what I'm doing. And I don't have control over when certain masks come up, because for me, those were my coping mechanisms. And you learn that sometimes those coping mechanisms don't work as well when you get older.
That is very true. I will say for you, I noticed, I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or what, but, you know, like, remember when we were talking and I was saying you're so extroverted, but then after I got to know you, I was like, no, you're not. No,
I'm so introverted.
You're so, and you get so worn out.
I do.
being around people a lot.
But I love being around people.
But it's exhausting because you have to, I keep catching on that cord. I'm sorry. It's exhausting because you have to keep going back and making sure that you're not, it's for me, and I'm just going to say for me, I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but for me, I'm very cognizant of everything I do and how it impacts people. And I worry that my PTSD or whatever is going to, I don't know how to explain it other than it's going to show, and then I'm going to upset people. And so I'm constantly on the lookout of,
You're going to be too much.
Yes. And so I will either dial myself down or I'll boost myself too much, or I will just constantly be watching what I'm doing. And that's exhausting. That's an exhausting way to live.
Yes. And I would say I'm very much like that too, especially when I join new groups. I do not like going to places or meeting people I do not know. I'm excited. I'm excited to go, but I'm nervous and I get worried about what if I don't fit in? What if I don't have the right answer, or I don't have the answer that they want to say, or I don't know what to talk about. So when I go somewhere, I literally go on observation first until I feel safe. And I remember going to a job. I actually was a receptionist at one point in my early career. And my boss was like, "You can speak louder in the intercom." I'm like, because I didn't want to be heard in case I said something incorrectly. And she's like, "Yeah, but you're the receptionist." And I said, "Oh, I'm quiet now, but once you get to know me, you're going to be begging me to stop talking." So I swing back and forth.
That's exactly how I am. Do you remember at the retreat, the first couple days, at the very first retreat we went to, I was very quiet and I was like not doing anything or saying anything. I wasn't going around and visiting anybody. And then I got comfortable.
Yes. And I'm always observing. And I do not want anybody to feel left out.
Yep.
Or be picked on or be whatever. Hey, Eve, how you doing?
Hello.
Eve just jumping on, had to join when I saw peer-to-peer. Yes. We are talking about CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, because today is the official awareness day for it. And we are going to have weekly conversations to anybody and everybody who wants to listen, learn, share. This is a safe space. So glad to see you here. Yeah, and it's true. Like when you join or go somewhere where you like, oh, I hate, especially now since we had COVID and I'm starting this journey, or I'm in my recovery journey. I really don't like crowds. I like small groups.
Yeah.
And I know when I met you at the retreat, I don't care anymore, because that retreat, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong before I left home. So it wore all my blockages down, and I'm like, that's it. I don't care. Either you take me or you leave me. I don't care.
Which was kind of awesome though, because you helped me.
I
You
saw
did.
you over there. I'm like, hi, what you working on?
So, I wanted to ask, what you think. You remember when we were at the last retreat, the ball of light, um, self-regulation tool that I told you about?
Yes.
So I was wondering if maybe that would be a good idea to share, since, we have been talking about something, and honestly, this is kind of a triggering topic in itself. And I just want to
Yes.
see if that would be a good idea to just kind of share it so everybody can learn a new technique for helping self-regulate, because honestly, this works for people with PTSD and CPTSD. So Rhonda, was that a yes
Bear
from
with my
you?
internet again.
Uh-oh.
Eve says, I'm glad to be here. I work in the world on mental health peer support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I like that idea, Rebecca, of sharing techniques, because you can become dysregulated easily and not being aware of that you're dysregulated.
Yeah. So is that what I should do tonight?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, for everybody that's listening, this is what I do, with, I've done this for myself and I've taught it to other people, and I really do believe this works. It's one of the very few that I actually works for me. So what I do is I stand or sit where I can plant both of my feet firmly on the floor. It's really amazing if you can do it with your shoes off. It's even more amazing if you can do it with your shoes off and outside so that you can connect with earth. But the point is that you plant your feet solidly on the ground and you close your eyes. You kind of roll your shoulders back. And if you want to, you can be practicing this with me while I'm talking about it. You'll want to roll your shoulders back and close your eyes and then take in a really deep breath. And when you take in that deep breath, you're going to imagine a ball of light that kind of pulls itself up just into the top of your head. And then I want you to keep breathing out and then breathing in. And every time you breathe in, I want you to imagine that ball of light growing, because all of that negative energy, all of your worries, all of your fears are going into that ball of light. And it's just kind of sitting at the top of your head. And you do that deep breaths as many times as you need to. And you keep envisioning that light getting as bright as you can get it. And then I want you to kind of start shaking out your body and relaxing it. And I want you to imagine that ball of light sinking down. I want it to go down past your eyes, past your jaw, down through your neck, into your shoulders. I want all of that energy to have pulled from your fingers all the way up into your arms, into your shoulders, and then keep imagining that ball of light moving down. So it goes into your chest, into your belly, into your pelvis, and all of your energy, you're still taking deep breaths and focusing on it going into that ball of light. And then that ball is going to go down past your hips, into your thighs, past your knees, down into your shins, into your ankles. And then it is going to go into your feet and then just straight down out of your feet into the earth, into the ground, into the earth, wherever you're standing. And imagine that energy all just completely escaping you and giving it back to earth. And then take a couple more deep breaths. And afterwards, when I do this, at least, I feel a little bit more centered. And that is a technique that I do help teach at my job. And I've had it work for, like I said, work for multiple people. So if you end up coming back next week and you actually tried that technique, please feel free to comment and let me know if it worked for you.
Mm-hmm. I know I just did it. And as that ball of light was going from my knees into my shins, and then my shins to my ankles, my feet actually, like, I didn't realize they were up high, but they lowered so they were really flat on the ground.
Yes. Yeah. It's very strengthening and empowering.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Eve. Thank you.
And if you guys have techniques that you know that work for you, by all means do share them, because there isn't always just one technique or tool or tip that works for everybody all the time. So we just put this in our toolbox, and this can work well too if you're standing in a grocery line and you're just feeling a little off
or overwhelmed even.
Yeah.
I mean,
Spunky
honestly,
says,
it works wherever you go, because I mean, it's better if you can take several minutes to do it, but if you only have even 30 seconds, once you get used to it, you start to learn how to focus your energy into that ball. If you repeatedly do this technique, and you can actually get yourself to calm down faster and faster every time.
So Spunky has a good point. Now there is a condition where there are individuals who cannot picture things.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I struggle. I only see the outlines of things, and that's why I do a ball of light, because I can see the outline of the ball of light. I can't actually visualize the light. So I completely understand what you're saying. I have another technique. It's similar to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique, but mine is a little bit more based on this trauma-induced kind of thing. And I will absolutely share that next week if you guys are interested. I will need a reminder though. One of my unfortunate side effects of my complex PTSD is memory issues.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
Yes, Eve,
correct.
agreed. One person's wellness tool may absolutely be someone else's stressor.
Yeah. See, Spunky says I cannot see anything, and that's nothing against you.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I have several tools in my toolbox, because the one that I can teach you next week, you don't need to see anything in your mind. It's actually a context, like you'll be able to, it's something that you do physically for yourself that you don't have to visualize. So I can teach you that next week if you'd like.
Yep. And I love how you guys are using your voice and reminding us.
Yes.
Right? Because it's true, because I know when I first started, it was like, I can't get this to work for me. Why is this not working? I got to get this to work. And I'm overthinking it intellectually instead of not. Because I'm stuck in intellectual brain and not my reptile brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not everything works for everybody, and that's why it's so important to have so many different tools.
Oh, poor Spunky. I'm sorry. Spunky says won't remember being evaled for cognitive decline due to all the profound brain issues. We are all different, so cookie cutters does not work. So, and knowing that is huge. If like for me, when I was trying to fit and I couldn't fit, it was stressing me out. And I would work harder, even though I was in distress. I was beating myself up because I couldn't get it to work. And then knowing and accepting that, right, I'm not going to be able to do that one, because of this. And luckily, there are others that can or may. Okay, more than one approach is needed. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
when I go into my complete dissociation, I go into a hypo freeze, which means I cannot move, I cannot talk, I cannot open my eyes. I know everything that's going on, and somebody will come and touch me to hope to bring me out, and it pushes me further in. Now, if I'm not as dissociated and I know I have a real close, safe, trusted relationship with an individual, they may come and just sit close to me and I'm okay. Hypofreeze. Ah. Hypofreeze. I have my trusty. This is the autonomic nervous system, and it shows the primary states. And a hypofreeze is where your primary state is preparing for death, and you're in excessive overwhelm induced hypoarousal. So your muscles go flaccid, your respiration goes really low, so that it looks like I'm not even breathing. My heart rate goes really slow. My blood pressure goes really slow. My eyes actually close. My skin tone will go cold and I go pale. Everything around me feels very dry and cold. My digestion stops. And it says here that you may be too dissociated to feel anything. It's impossible to contact anybody else or self. There's no accessibility to frontal cortex, and it's impossible for integration. So they will usually call the paramedics on you. I have not had good reactions to that. So this I actually got off of Amazon. Let me grab that. Amazon. And I actually had no idea what I was doing initially. It was my therapist at the time who said, this is what it is. And I'm like, no, I possum. That's what it is. I just possum. So let me grab, I'm just going to copy the link.
I wonder if that's something that you can put onto a medical alert bracelet, like don't call emergency services.
That's probably a good idea. Like seriously, I had no idea what it was. So you get your lethargic. Then you have your calm, alert, and active. These are normal life. So everything's fine. And then you can get into your flight and fight, your hyper freeze, and then your hypo freeze. The hyper freeze is, it's more like the deer in the headlights. You're hyperventilating. Your heartbeat is going really, really, really fast. Your blood pressures are going really high. You are dilated eyes. You may be paled or you may be flushed. They're describing hypofreeze, but means fawning to me. I don't go brachia in this due to severe. Okay. Yeah. I had no idea what that was. And because my therapist had mentioned this, I'm like, and she had this up on her wall. I'm like, I need this. So when you go into the fight or flight, the recommended intervention is to putting on the brakes. The hyperfreeze is slamming on the brakes, and then the hypo one is calling the paramedics. I need to just calm down. And in these states, the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn is a threat to life. Whether that's real or not, that's how you are responding.
Well, it's not how you're responding, it's how you perceive it, right? Even if there's no actual risk, there is perceived risk, and that is just as real as actual risk. And that's
Right.
what's happening.
And then you're responding to that. Your body's responding to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that hyper and hypofreeze are both basically fawning. It's just a slightly different version of fawning.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I've never seen that before.
Sorry. Eve says you can put it in a WRAP, Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Yes. That you can share parts of it with your loved ones and supporters, including professionals. That's spunky. Then that's a great idea, is to have that a little document. It could be on your phone under like 911 or 101, and put your contact information, who's your primary contact, things to do, things not to do. Spunky says, I just don't know how EMS would help with this. So correct. Oh, my nuts. Sorry. Okay, back. It's all good. So Spunky, you're correct, because, and Eve is correct, because if I don't have a WRAP that says this is what can occur, then the people around you don't know how to respond. EMS comes in and they may think you're faking it, which was my case. The psychiatrist I had at the time absolutely believed I had narcolepsy. And I was like, I don't have narcolepsy. And at that time, I would only possum when I was with them. And their specialty was sleep diagnosis. So they would actually take me out of the room, put me into another room, check on me occasionally, or have the front desk check on me, and then call the EMS. And I would leave with bruised fingernails, pinches.
How traumatic.
You rub the sternum. Nope, didn't do anything for me. I'm just in my head, I'm just like, leave me alone. Get away from me.
Well, and can you imagine? There's many reasons why people are traumatized, and if touch is a thing that is triggering for you, having somebody come and touch you when you're in a state where you literally can't escape your own mind, that is incredibly traumatic.
Oh yeah. And I actually became triggered with that therapist. I'm like, no, you can't help me. Get away from me. And I actually went into a flight mode when I saw their name at another location where I was seeing a different psychiatrist for the first time. So wow. Interesting. He says, I think all the time about coming on live somewhere and doing a presentation about what WRAP is all about. I am a certified advanced level WRAP facilitator. Ooh. Well, now that I know that, we may do that. I'll reach out to you.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Spunky says, having a plan is helpful no matter what it is called. Your plan needs to be discussed with folks on the plan so they know what to do, practice the plan, and they need to have access to the resources. Yes. Yeah. And you can have like a little, you keep saying WRAP. What does it stand for? Eve. WRAP is the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Now, I know in DBT they call it something else. And for the life of me, I cannot think of what it's called. You could call it whatever you want to call it, as long as people are aware of what it contains and when to use it or access it. No. Spunky, it's okay.
Yeah,
I just have
don't
brain fog too.
apologize.
Yeah.
I will always say never, ever, ever apologize for asking questions. I would rather somebody ask the question a million times and get the answer than to never ask it all and not know.
Oh, yeah. And even if I ask a question and then I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't recall what you said. Can you say it to me again?
Uh-huh.
That's fine too.
I get that whole, like, I will be staring at somebody and I'll ask them a question and they'll answer me. And then I'll say, I'm sorry, you'll have to repeat that because I didn't hear a word you said, while I'm looking them dead in the eye.
Oh, yes. Been there, done that. Half the
Yay,
shirt.
thank you for PTSD making me dissociate.
Yeah, it is the weirdest thing. I'm like, I am paying attention to you. I hear the words, but they are not registering.
Yes. Isn't that the worst? When you're trying to understand the conversation and for some reason it's just like your brain cells are not able to connect the synapses.
Yep. And I get, okay, so I had that many times today where I will be, since I started my journey back in it started in 2012, but I didn't get discombobulated until 2016. But I will be typing something and I will have a word in my head and I type something completely different, or I cannot for the life of me remember how the word is spelt. And I feel like I'm back in elementary school trying to study for a spelling test.
Uh-huh. I thought that was
Like,
just a me thing. That's crazy.
I'm like, oh, how do we? And it's like, okay, so honey, how do I spell sly? I don't know how to spell sly. S, la. What is that word? What is that letter?
I will have moments when words like that I absolutely should know cannot come to my brain.
Oh yeah, yep. Well, I was actually reaching out to one of the ladies because I do some volunteer work for a nonprofit organization, and there is a form, and I cannot remember what this form is called, and I still cannot remember what this form is called. It is a form where you are acknowledging. I'm going to describe it for you. It is about something. So in this case, it would be about CPTSD. I think CPTSD should be considered as a classification of its own in the DSM, and I want to put my name down to support it. But I can't think of what it's called. And I'm like, I know what it does. I don't know what it's called, and I don't know where to find it. So
yeah.
After this, if I made sense to her, because she too has CPTSD, she'll be able to show me where that link is, and then I can share it with everybody.
See, and some of that I've attributed to ADHD. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I don't know which one is causing this, but it's rough out there, man. Sometimes I get you not being able to figure out. I'm sitting at work today and I'm just like, I open my computer. I'm supposed to be working on a task.
What is it?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Oh,
That
yeah.
happens way more often than it should.
Oh, yeah. And when I mention it, they're all like, "Oh, that it's just part of getting old." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Oh,
E says Wellness Recovery Action Plan. This is a non-clinical self-help tool that works along with any type of treatment, including no treatment. It was born of the peer movement in the 90s. Well, that's good to know. Right, Spunky? Word finding issues. Don't ask me to do Scrabble.
oh my gosh, yes.
No.
Yeah. What's that?
No.
Trivial Pursuit. My family always wants to play Trivial Pursuit. And I'm like, y'all, I'm not
Nope.
going to remember any of the things you're asking me to remember right now. I
Nope.
can tell you useless facts all day long, but you want, nope. Don't
Yep.
ever ask me to play Trivial Pursuit.
I can beat you on any pattern matching thing you want, but nope. Yeah. And of course, my daughter and my husband love like Monopoly and Trivial Pursuit. And I'm like, have fun. I'll just watch on the side.
Uh-huh.
I can't do it. And I know for me, I can't do it. No, I just lost the thought.
Speaking of,
Lost the thought. Had it. Gone. Oh my goodness. Oh, no. Yeah, Eve is saying to Spunky in New Jersey, called a mental health representative, like in a medical advance directive. The person is called a medical proxy. Oh. He says, I attribute the word finding issues to age in the 60s and 70s. Okay. As we were saying earlier, I pulled weeds from my garden yesterday. I don't do weed. I am a weed hallucinogen virgin. Never touched the stuff. So I can't even use that as an excuse.
you can still use it. Just pretend.
Yeah, just pretend, right?
I mean, honestly, you can always just tell yourself you forgot.
Oh, I could. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember. I like that. And I mean, and to your point, like you want trivial information, I can give you tons of trivia information. And then I will it will give me tongue twisting. So when I do fact finding or I'm listening to somebody, I can jump around in different topics. And people are like, what? I'm like, well, you said this. And you said that. So, hands. Oh, I'm like, okay, that lost so much funniness out of it. Meanwhile, I'm killing myself laughing in my head. And they're like, what the frig is she talking about? Never mind. So that kind of gives an idea of what complex PTSD is, as it's like defined or symptoms.
I just had a moth land on my diamond painting. I'm surprised it didn't get stuck.
Oh, you serious?
Yes. That's hilarious. Sorry about that. That startled me. My daughter must have let it in earlier when she came home. Oh, that's so funny.
Well, that was kind of like Glenn the other night. He was sitting there working on his computer, and I had taken my computer from upstairs and I was bringing it down onto and just storing it because I had a meeting at 10 in the morning. And I didn't want to go into the room because Dipper, our ferret, is in the room. And if I go in, then she'll get up and then I won't be able to go on my call because she'll want my attention like a toddler. So as I go down and put my computer, I'm like, okay, I'm just putting my computer. And he gets like, whoa, what was that? A little itty bitty spider popped out of the light fixture on his web and landed on his computer.
Oh, wow.
Nothing like scary. So thank God he's not have arachnophobia or anything like that. Not arachnophobia, spiderophobia.
Yeah, arachnophobia.
Is it arachnophobia?
Yeah.
But then we tried to catch the little spider to set him outside and be free.
Oh my goodness.
And we lost him. So I grabbed the flashlight, Glenn pulled the chair back, and I was on my hands and my knees looking all over the floor for this little spider because we didn't want to crush him. We wanted to save him. It turned out he was still on my husband's leg.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, come here, little spider. We're going to set you outside now.
Oh my goodness. Nope. I'd have noped right out of there. The whole house has to be burned down. I don't care how big it is.
Oh my gosh. It was a guy. Hey, Glenn, you know who you are now? Little Miss Muffet. Sat on her tuffet.
Oh my goodness, Tammy. I'm glad somebody else saw it. Yeah. It was huge. It hit me first and then hit my diamond painting and scared me.
I want to go in there too. There's flowers.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh,
Tammy, yeah, chemo brain is there's so many things in life that I think we never expect to have to deal with, and that's one thing. My heart goes out. Like none of these things are things we can control, right?
No. It's really tough. And it's frustrating and out of our control. Okay, so I'm just looking at the time. We're almost at an hour and a half. Wow.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody has your time to relax, enjoy the rest of your evening. So if you see this on the replay, in the comments, do a hashtag replay. And what is one thing you learned tonight that was useful, or that not useful, helpful, or interesting?
Or new.
Or new. Thank you. I had the thought and then I lost the words. Tammy, Rhonda, my granddaughter would love you. She will not kill a spider. Catch it and throw it outside. Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. Flies, ants. Even my son will do the same thing. It's like, okay, do you have them? Got them. Okay, open the door for me. Because every life matters. Okay. How much did you get done? I did pretty good. Because I normally don't talk and diamond paint at the same time.
I don't know. I would say about half. About half the square done.
I have one symbol left in my area.
I have one symbol left too, but it's all this K.
I am, and my boys just got home from baseball evaluation, so that's perfect timing. They are evaluating players for one of the teams that my son will be helping coach.
Nice.
So, thank you guys for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca, for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me on.
We will figure out how to do this on both channels at the same time. Eventually, you'll just something yet to learn. You are very welcome, Tammy. Tammy says thank you both. We will be here next Tuesday at the same time, and we will be talking more about CPTSD. And it will be informative. I know I'm going to be learning new stuff about this as well, which is awesome. If you guys have questions, if you want to share, by all means, you can either put it in the comments. You can put it over on the Dip in Time Facebook page. You are more than welcome to share your progress on whatever you are working on, because it does not matter. There is no form, there is no start required, no finish required. There is no real progress required, except the only requirement is to have fun, be present, be open to learn, and community. And then we will be doing, you can post weekly. I'll put a little post in there, and then we will be putting a little video together to share everybody's work, and we can celebrate it together. So until then, is there anything else you'd like to say, Rebecca?
No, I just really appreciate the people that showed up and the comments. You all are just great, and thanks for having me on, Rhonda.
Okay. My husband's now staying at the door staring at me.
Nina from 313 has an injured budgie that was in her backyard. Do you know anybody here that owns a budgie?
No. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That really threw me off. It's okay. Glenn stopped in because one of our neighbors found an injured budgie in their backyard, and we're trying to figure out who it belongs to. So on that note, I'm going to go see what I can do for that. Rebecca, what is your channel?
It is sparkle.sanctuary, the one that's on the screen. That is my channel name, sparkle.sanctuary.
Stop. See if I can do the sparkle.sanctuary. There it is.
And I am 5 away from 500 subscribers, so I'm super excited.
Yay!
I'm so
Look at you there. Look at you there. I'm still trying to get up to the next one. It's all good. So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for asking your questions. Thank you for sharing your voice, for being you, and have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.